What is up, Raiders? Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. It has been a long time since I've made a video like this, guys, and I feel like it's the perfect time to do an updated version. We had so many powerful champions that have been released for the last 6 to 12 months in the game. Heck, I don't think I've done a video like this in probably 1.5 to 2 years, actually. But a lot of things actually changed. And because we have a brand new event this weekend, we're going to have a 2x on the Void Shards, okay? And we're going to have a Mega Kraken Whale tournament, right? We have the Champion Chase tournament from where you're going to be able to earn the soul for a Shredder. I think we had something else related to Shredder, but maybe I've missed something in there, right? I thought that maybe, just maybe, you're going to be able to earn something else. But it seems like it's just the soul. Nothing related to the champion. Except that we have a 10x on Shredder next to the 2x, basically. Okay, that's what it is. I thought that we had something else. Either way, for whoever wants the soul for a weak as champion, you can go and go bananas on this tournament. But the 2x Voids is a good event. Now, of course, one thing to keep in mind, a lot of you guys might be preparing for the Leonardo event, whatever that might be. It would be extremely sad to have a Leonardo event that will require us to open Void Shards straight after the 2x. So please be cautious, okay? 2x on Voids is coming around every 6th week or so. It's nothing special. It's not like you're missing out if you're not summoning during this event. One thing to keep in mind as well is that you're going to be able to collect 300 Titan points from here. Okay, so they are really going big at it. 300 from the Champ Chase, 400 from the Hero Path. That's literally almost half of what you need for the Titan event. Okay, I'm only at 670. I think I'll be fine to get a avatar frame. That's kind of like my main goal. I'm not going to get April because I've missed the Hero Path. But either way, leaving all that on the side, in this video, I want to talk about the most busted, the best of the best Void Legendary champions in Raid Shadow Legends in 2025. As I was saying, we had a lot of champions that were added to the game, and a lot of them are crazy, crazy powerful. Let's start with the Sylvan Watchers. We're going to make our way to the top like this. And in here, we honestly have some very, very good ones. But starting with Niame's Spear of Nyreza. Absolutely freaking insane. PvP-wise, she is everywhere. Siege, Live Arena, Classic Arena, effing Tag Team Arena. There is literally no PvP game mode escaping this champion because she's so freaking powerful with the passive. The block damage at the start of the round, and when this champion's HP drops below 50, absolutely massive. Okay, so I would love to get her. I think out of all of the Void Legendaries, she is my most wanted. 100%, yeah. True, we do have Leonardo as well, which is a very, very good champion, but I think I would prefer to get her over Leonardo personally. She's really good. A very good support. The immunity, the ally protection, the healing. This is kind of like meant to do some damage, but you wouldn't necessarily prioritize this because the rest of her kit just brings in more to the table. And I did try her in both ways when I've tested the champion. Absolutely amazing. One of the best Void Legendaries in the entire game. If we are looking at this faction to kind of like nominate more than one per faction, truth be told, I'm not necessarily feeling them like extremely OP. Yeah, Inchensa, she's great, very good for defense down and all that. But I'm not really using her much on my account anymore. Like Lydia dominates most of the areas. I've changed my Hydra teams so much that Inchensa doesn't really fit in any of them. But she's a very good Void Legendary. Do not get me wrong. She's amazing. I just don't think that I should put her in the top, the best of the best, okay? Then, Clay Nash is nice too. Moving on to the Shadow Kings. Right here we have a bunch of them. There are actually a lot of them that are very, very powerful. Raiho Bone Spear, crazy, crazy powerful too. I know a lot of you guys might sleep on her. She's not that insane for PvP. Like, she's not really part of any of the PvP meta. But for PvE, she's huge. The amount of debuffs she can bring with the Feral set is a huge damage boost. The cleanse, the healing, the immunity, the continuous heals, the passive, which is good. If we're talking about Chimera, you can fit her in a nice Hydra team. You can fit her in pretty much all of the dungeons. I'm using her in the Shogun, in the Sand Devil's Necropolis. And that's pretty much it in terms of dungeons. I'm talking about the gear dungeons, right? But she's very, very, very powerful. Curse City, Faction Wars, Hard Mode. Of course, you're going to use her. I definitely want to mention her, okay? Yumeko, still very powerful as a lockout. Having the ability... You know what's the thing? One Yumeko is great. Two Yumekos, freaking OP. Okay, I don't want to mention it like this because having the ability to reset the cooldowns of the skills back and forward is insane. Okay, not only for the Hydra, even if we're talking about doing some speed runs in dungeons, like on the Ice Golem, you know how much of a difference it makes to have two freaking Yumekos on that turn count when you're doing tournaments and stuff. Very good for PvP as well because she doesn't actually attack. Yeah, I still think she is a very, very powerful one. Shuzan, crazy good as well. She's not really a new champion. Same with the other two. But having the ability to do this is massive, especially PvP-wise. Like, if you're going in live arena, it might not be as impactful in classic arena, right? But in live arena, she's just a force to reckon with. Like, if somebody has good speed gear to build both Shuzan and Arbais or Lazarius or a different turn meter booster, you are in trouble if they bring multiple ones in the team, because who are you gonna ban? Probably you're gonna ban her because this instant turn is just insane and it can literally wipe your team like that. Not to mention the increased speed, turn meter manipulation, decreased speed, block active skills, the passive, speed aura. What are all those, right? But Shuzan is really, really powerful. Eyasu is a good damage dealer, definitely not in the top best Void Legendaries in the game, but he's very solid too. Leonardo, I think we all want Leonardo. He does do a lot of damage. I think if you kind of like remove the rest of the turtles from the team, he's not as crazy powerful on his own, right? But I still think he's definitely worth mentioning. We were able to collect two of the turtles for free, right? I mean, for free. I won the fusion. One was for free. We had a guaranteed for Raphael. If you collect all of the 4 turtles, you're going to have a lot of fun. It's not like they're changing the game. It's not like getting this champion on your account is absolutely going to skyrocket your account or anything like that. But they're a lot of fun. They can pretty much break all of the content in the game. Crazy damage from this skill. But of course, you do need the other turtles to pair in with him. Moving on to the Dwarves faction, guys. I think the most goated one is going to be Sina Amberheart. I still want her PvE-wise. I think she's crazy powerful. I feel like the main places where I would use her, Chimera, like having the ability to boost so much turn meter, is literally taking your team from, like, let's just say 200-300 million damage, right? If you're doing that much without her at the moment, all the way up to 1 billion or something like that. And that is insane. Just one champion having the ability to push your team to not the next level, like to the next 100 levels, okay? Really strong. Building her on Supersonic is definitely the way to go with. At least that's what everybody is saying. A very good supporter, and I would run her in my Faction Wars hard mode team too. She would be very helpful in there. Arnon, I think he's a great damage dealer. Acrisia, really good as well. But those are just shoutouts. Sina is the GOAT from that faction. Talking about Knight Revenants, we do have good champions in here as well. We actually have a lot of Void Legendaries. The Queen of Hearts, really powerful. Georgit, crazy powerful with the A1. Mainly for PvE now, right? For PvP, he's not as powerful as he used to be, not for the high-end meta, right? But he's still really good. Hegemon, I think Hegemon deserves it more than any of them from this faction. It is mainly PvP wise, but I'm talking about the most busted abilities, which are still the most powerful Void Legendaries, right? And this skill right here, especially in the current meta, this skill right here can wipe most likely your entire team. If you have a 6-star cracking roots on him too, is a force to reckon with. Very, very, very powerful. And I still think that even though Hegemon was always kind of like up in the meta, down in the meta, up in the meta, down in the meta, he's definitely really, really powerful. Siege mode, live arena, potentially in classic arena if you find some weaknesses versus some specific teams. But I think he still deserves the title of being a GOAT because he's just so freaking unique, right? If we're talking about the Dark Elves, yes, you have Mitrala, which is great. You have Tramaria, which is great. But honestly, I feel like the craziest one is Lydia. I feel like out of all of the free champions that we are getting from defeating content, etc., and I'm talking about legendaries, Marius is very, very good, right? He's absolutely insane too. But I think if I would have the option to pick a dupe of the free champions, because you cannot have dupes of them, right? Lydia would be the one. I think I would love another Lydia on my account. She's just so freaking good. Everything on this skill with the poison sensitivity, the fear, the block buffs, block active skills, the block revive with a passive. I think she's just an absolute freaking monster. 9-piece Feral, the best. 9-piece protection, second best in terms of how you build her. And she's goated everywhere. PvE-wise, just tell me some content where you wouldn't use Lydia. You won't really find that that much, right? If we're talking about PvP, true, she's really not that OP in PvP. But every now and then, you can definitely use that passive. Talking about the Undead Hordes. We do have a bunch of awesome voids in here too. Little Miss Annie, good damage. Vlad is pretty nice too. He's very underrated. Nakret, very powerful. Sifi and Nakret, both of them, guys. I think they're still very powerful champions. They're still at the top, right? The thing with Sifi, yes, she can get countered pretty damn hard nowadays with everything that we have in the game, especially all of the relics, everything that basically acts like a temporal chain, the supersonic, all of that stuff. But building her on a 9-piece protection, it can definitely take you far. Okay, she's still very powerful. I would love this revive to be on a 3-turn cooldown. I think that would make this champion perfect. I don't think it would make her busted because of it, like broken or anything like that. But I think a 3-turn cooldown revive would be much, much better. Having all of these buffs is really, really good too. But pros and cons, right? Nakret, still very, very useful. I mean, it's the only champion that can really just carry the heck out of your nukers, okay? The immunity, allowing you to just build your damage dealers in Savage. Forget about what else might happen, you know? I think is just such a powerful champion, you know, and he's still being used in a lot of different areas. True, it's not as sought in live arena or even in classic arena in the very high end meta, but siege mode and everything else, I think he's still very, very powerful. Nakret. Moving on to the next faction, what do we have? The Demon Spawns. Right here we have a bunch of good ones too. I feel like Initwi is the weakest. Krutraxa, because she's a bit more niche towards Fire Knight. Chalko, very, very good damage dealer. He brings tons of utility, but I'm going to give it to Lamasu. Free champion. She is pretty newish, to say like this. AoE decrease attack, the block buffs through fear or decrease speed, the reset, the intercept, the cleanse, the passive, immune to sheep, speed aura, and this 50% turn meter. A lot of people do not understand what 50% means. Almost means an instant turn on the champion you boosted based on what speed that champion has. Such a powerful champion for both PvP and PvE as well. You just want to build her super fast, give her a bit of accuracy too, but a really, really powerful champion. I love her. I just wish her AI would work better on auto. The thing is, usually the single reset champions or buffers, healers, etc. will always prioritize the lead champion as long as most of them are on the same HP, etc. She's going to prioritize after random champions. She's not going to do the lead anymore. So it's a bit of a mess with the AI. I wish they would make it better because it would be a very good replacement for Yumeko if she would work better on auto. Orc faction. I think that from here, the GOAT is still the GOAT, right? Even though we do have a lot of counters to lockout champions. They're not necessarily what they used to be a very long time ago. The mythical champions. We have the new set from the event dungeon. I think Warlord is still a very, very powerful champion. I'm not really using him much in PvP, but in the siege mode, he's still going to be goated if you're picking these factions, depending on what conditions you're picking, right? This is very, very powerful. The Thermitor one is not as impactful because most likely you're not going to deal with champions that don't have stone skin, or at least not very often. The healing, the shield, the immunity. I think Warlord is still goated. Supersonic build works nice. Stone skin plus perception or different sets. What I do not like is Taras smacking him all the time if he's not in stone skin, right? Rakash is great from here. Supreme Gallic pretty good too. If we're gonna go on to the skin walkers, no questions asked. The GOAT. He is one of the best champions in the entire game, okay? PvP, PvE, enemy max HP works everywhere. He has these funky multipliers that actually do real damage, not just enemy max HP. I'm not sure exactly what's different on the multipliers because I haven't really checked to compare him with the other enemy max HP champions that really underperform. Like if you take an Acrisia versus Waves, for example, he's not really going to do that much. If you take Marius, I mean, he's going to absolutely smash them. Chimera, Hydra, bosses in general. I don't know. All the bosses in the game, okay? All the bosses in the game. And if we're talking about PvP, oh boy, okay? He is insane in PvP. The best buff removal in the entire game. Triple hitter. Each hit decreases the duration of buffs by 1 turn. Enfeeble, absolutely massive. The counter attack when you manipulate the Thermitor, when you change forms, is demolishing mythical champions. So, I mean, I don't have to tell you anything. Look at that. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 everywhere. Okay, yes, he's not a Fire Knight or a nice Golem tournament, but other than that, I mean, even in Demon Lord, you can give him a 5, to be honest. Iron Twins, probably not a 5, yeah. Sand Devil's Necropolis, it can easily be a 5. Arena Defense, yeah, depending on how you're building your team, but very powerful champion. Then, let's move on to the Lizardman. So right here, we do have very, very good Void Legendary champions, okay? I think Sulfurion is absolutely amazing. So rather than just pick one of them, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to pick pretty much half of them, or all of them. Sulfurion really good with the HP burn. The only champion in the game that can place the HP burn and activate it at the same time. It can be huge to melt Stone Skin, huge for PvE as well. And then the revive, the support, the healing that he generates, the Thermitor, I think he's a very, very powerful champion. You do need accuracy, speed on him, right? You have Ramantu. Ramantu is still very, very unique with this ability right here. This is a very good skill too. I wish she would have a decreased attack. I wish the True Fear would probably would work properly on the Chimera. The block active skills. That would be nice as well versus the Chimera. But there are a few things that actually the block active skills, I think it does. No, it doesn't. It doesn't because enemies without passive skills, right? Or it might do. I can't remember. I haven't used him in Chimera in a while. But the True Fear doesn't. I wish that would be a bit better in the Chimera. If that would be the case, his value would be even crazier. Krisk, absolutely goated. I don't have to tell you. He has an insane passive. He's still a very freaking powerful champion. And I bet who doesn't have him would love to have him. PvE, In PvP, not for high-end, okay? But he used to be in the high-end meta a long time ago. You can definitely use him in Tag Team Arena and different areas where you're still progressing. Classic Arena, all of this content, as long as you're not trying to be like, I'm going to be top 50 platinum with Krisk. You know, that's not going to happen anymore. But he's very, very good. Payday, really powerful for PvE content as well. Increased resistance, perfect veil, decreases the cooldowns of skills, the block buffs, decreased speed, Thermitter, healing, more Thermitter manipulation. Such a freaking powerful champion. I would love to get him too. I think he is a bit harder to kind of like just take him and throw him in different teams. But he's a very, very good one too. All Green Tribes. The most goated Chimera champion. Brand new. I mean, he was just added to the game 2 weeks ago or so. Classic, Key Hulk. PvE-wise, my most wanted Void Legendary, okay? He is just so freaking good for the Chimera. Absolutely nuts. And not just the Chimera. Look at that. 5 everywhere. And you know what? I have to agree. True Fear transfers debuffs. Cannot be resisted by bosses. Defense down weaken. Decrease accuracy, decrease resistance. Cannot be resisted by bosses. Double hitter. And counterattack. Unkillable. Taunt. On a 4-turn cooldown. I mean, he is just so crazy. Protected buffs versus bosses. The passive. Increasing the enemy that damage. Making it deal enemy max HP damage. Is just an amazing, amazing, amazing Void Legendary champion. Crazy powerful for PvE. It might be the most powerful PvE Void Legendary in the entire game. I think so. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think it's definitely there. It's just bringing so much to the table. There is no other champion to compete with him in terms of what he brings to the table. We do have Grazur, which is great. Togron after the buff, really, really nice. I do like Gurgo for PvP too. Barbarians. I mean, I think the most goated one from here is gonna be Odin Feyfather. PvP-wise, PvE-wise, like for Faction Wars hard mode, if we're talking about wave control, dungeons, AoE defense down, strips buffs, stun, berserk, and deals enemy max HP damage. The block damage that comes from the passive, the buff spread effect, taking all of the buffs. Really, really powerful champion too. And I'm so freaking happy that I have him. I can't remember if I got him in a tournament or something like that, because I never pulled one from Voids. I think it was the first prize in a tournament, if I remember it correctly. But I'm hella happy that I have him. Tuhanarak is good too. Turvold good damage dealer and stuff, but Odin deserves the spot right there. Talking about the Sacred Order, I think we have 2 of them that are really goated in here. Cardiel, still a very goated champion, PvE-wise, even in PvP. He does a lot of things too. Speed aura, increased crit rate, increased crit damage, the ally attack, the cleanse, the revive on death, the immunity, the healing with the passive, the true fear that he can place. Really good for PvE. Hydra, Chimera, dungeons, you guys name it. And for PvP, you can use him as well. I have mine built on a 9 piece protection, but I am mainly using him in PvE, and he is built for damage. I think Lady Noelle, she's crazy powerful too. A lot of people really underestimated her when she was a fusion for, I think it was last Christmas fusion, if I remember it correctly. The best revive skill in the game. 3-turn cooldown, AoE revive, 75% chance to freeze, fully booked, 100% chance to freeze. And if Sir Nick is in the same team, they cannot, it cannot be resisted or blocked, right? And the revive, 50% HP and Thermitter, man. AoE revive on a 3-turn cooldown. That's why I said I would love to have Siphi on a 3-turn cooldown with a revive rather than a 4-turn cooldown, because it just doesn't really make that much sense, right? To have champions like this and champions like that. This is a pretty good skill too. You do get an increased speed on everybody, block buffs on the A1. She pairs really nice in the Chimera if you're running her with Opardin Clanfather, right? I think they have very good synergy together. For PvP, she's being used in a high-end live arena. She's being used in a lot of content. Not to mention Faction Wars and all of that light content, right? Crazy, crazy good. Then, talking about the High Elves. I mean, you know what? Yeah, Arbiter, she's still good. You're getting her for free from the missions. She's still good. very good for PvP. I don't think she's a super high-end PvP champion anymore. But if we're talking about Siege mode, great. If we're talking about Live Arena, great. Tag Team Arena, in some PvE areas too, I think she's still good. The revive, the healing, the thermometer boost, the increased attack, decreased duration of buffs, weaken. She does a lot of things. I think she's still a good champion. And moving on to the final faction. I mean, we have a lot of freaking goats in here. Raglan after the buff, I think she's pretty nice. I actually need to do a guide on her to revisit her and see how much better she is. I love this passive on her. The healing got better. The cleanse. Shame that we still don't have any immunity. I would prefer immunity instead of the increased accuracy. But her revive is still good on a 2-turn cooldown and decreases the cooldowns of all skills on the champion. Really, really good. Taras, crazy powerful as a damage dealer, still in the meta, especially for Siege mode, Live Arena, probably even for Classic Arena if you do not have all of the OP mythical champions. Marichka, without a doubt, the best in the faction, guys. One of the best Void supports in the entire game. In fact, one of the best supports in the entire game. Her and Galatir are literally the goats, right? The passive is one of the main things that makes her so crazy. The revive, the block damage, makes it much harder to melt the stone skin. The cleanse, thermometer, strengthen, shield, ally attack with Taras, the speed aura, really goated. And then Titus. Titus is crazy powerful with the right setup for Chimera, for Hydra, for Clan Boss, for just dealing a lot of damage. I actually love Titus. I hate using him in the Hydra because every time he gets devoured. But other than that, really powerful. These are the most busted, the most powerful, the best of the best Void Legendaries in Raid Shadow Legends in 2025. And you know what? I wish you guys good luck. If you're summoning during 2x events, hopefully you're just gonna get these champions while you're ignoring the rest. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Which one is your most favorite? And as usual, appreciate every single one of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.